I want to welcome everyone, including our panelists today, to our third Pathways webinar of the week for different ways to take your MITx credential in data economics and development policy and turn it into an advanced degree. I want to welcome everyone here today. Thank you for coming. My name is Madison. I work at JPAL, the Poverty Action Lab at MIT, and I work predominantly on the MicroMasters with MITx. And we're really excited to have you all here today. Just to do a brief introduction of our panelists, we have Akylai from the American University of Central Asia. We have Claudia coming from ITAM and Peter, who's coming from Rochester Institute of Technology. So they're here to tell you a little bit more about their programs and how you can take our program, the MicroMasters in Data Economics and Development Policy, or DEDP, and turn it into an advanced degree. So we're going to get started. Just so you all know that there's a Q&A function to our webinar, so you can put your questions in for each panelist. So as a panelist talks, you can add your Q&A and we'll field them the questions at the end. This should take about 45 minutes, so we'll try and budget time appropriately, but we're really excited. I'm going to start by sharing my screen and just giving a little introduction to the MicroMasters. So again, this is a Pathways webinar to a master's degree through the MITx MicroMasters program in Data Economics and Development Policy. So our program began in 2017, so just over 3 years ago. It's been really exciting. The program has really grown. We have learners from over 180 countries. We have a bunch of credential holders, and people are just doing really exciting things with this degree. It's really exciting to see all the different uses. So if you go to our website, you can see a lot of different ways that our learners are using their MicroMasters in their careers or day-to-day life. And it's just really exciting to see what people are doing with it and just the passion people have for the material. A really good question you might be asking yourself is, why should you pursue the MITx MicroMasters in Data Economics and Development Policy? One of the first and most obvious reasons is just the reach of this program. Is unlike a residential program, this is open to anyone with a computer and internet access, and additionally there's no formal prerequisites, so therefore anyone can participate, and we really just want to extend this offer that this is a great opportunity to learn. These programs are also very rigorous. These are the same exact courses that are taught with the same challenging level of the residential MIT classes. You're taught by MIT faculty, you're challenged with the same material, and it really is just a really rigorous program to challenge and help our students learn. The program itself is very flexible, so all of our courses run 3 times a year, and you can kind of take this on your own time frame. So you could we've had students take all 5 courses in 1 semester. We've had others take multiple years to complete the credential, but either way, it's super flexible and can be done on your own timeline. One of the exciting features of our program is our access, as we have a pay-as-you-can method for our payment structure. So learners are charged somewhere between $100 and $1,000 US, depending on your ability to pay, which is based off your annual income. And lastly, and the reason we're all here today is because of the credit you can earn from MicroMasters. So learners admitted to a Pathway Master's program can get credit for their MicroMasters courses. One exciting thing to highlight is that you're also going to be learning from Nobel Prize winning faculty. So in 2019, Esther Duflo and Abhijit Banerjee won the Nobel Prize in Economics, and the things that they won their prize for, the randomized control trials, and these techniques that they're using in development economics are the same exact things they test in their courses and that they are teaching about. And it's just a really unique opportunity to be learning directly from these people. Here is a snapshot of our curriculum. We have 3 core courses: microeconomics, designing and running randomized evaluation, and data analysis for social scientists. And as of fall of 2019, we have an elective course structure where you choose 2 of the 3 electives. And those options are the challenges of global poverty, foundations of development policy, advanced development economics, and political economy and economic development. Again, these are all taught by MIT faculty and JPAL staff, and they really create a great opportunity to learn from these people. Another unique feature of our program is the proctored exams. We've partnered with Pearson VUE, and who has more than 500 testing sites worldwide, and then also the option to online test through OnView. Prior to this May, we only offered in-person proctored exams, but due to the COVID epidemic, we had transferred to the option to test online, and this has been a really great way to still have accessibility. The content of the exams are exactly the same. You just take it at home with a stable Wi-Fi connection, a downloaded application, and a webcam, and you can learn more about it on our website. And while you're all here today, we have pathways to an advanced degree, which is so excited. We are partnered with 13 universities, including MIT, to offer blended ways to obtain your master's degree. And today is our third webinar, and we'll be talking a little bit more about your options. So here, that's just our brief intro. Just to get started, I'm going to pass off to Akylai, who's from the American University in Central Asia. And so she will talk a little bit more about their program and the way that they've blended their program. So Akylai, I'll pass it off to you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. And just a second. Yeah, so thank you so much for having me here. My name is Akylai Muktarbek, and I'm a director of the M.Sc in Economics program at the American University of Central Asia. So our university, AUCA, is located in Kyrgyzstan, which is in Central Asia, and it's a small country with beautiful mountains, nomadic culture, and untouched nature. So the university itself is an international and multidisciplinary learning community that follows the American liberal arts traditions. And we are one of very few universities in the whole Central Asian region which offer their programs in English. And we are proud to be among those academic leaders in the region. So we see our mission as raising and educating future leaders that would promote and push democratic transformation of Central Asian countries. And the university is the first university in Central Asia that offers US accredited degrees in liberal arts traditions, and we are part of the BART College network. So we are a relatively small private university. We have around 1,300 students from over 20 countries, and most of our students, they come from Eastern Europe and Central Asia. And we also have a pretty large scholarship program to bring students from Afghanistan. So overall, we have 14 academic departments. All of them offer undergraduate and graduate degrees. And here is the list of our graduate degree programs. And some of them are quite unique, like MA in Central Asian Studies or MA in Talent Management. Well, I will talk about M.Sc in Economics program, which has this connection with MITx MicroMasters program. So the program that we have is a quite young program. It was opened in 2016, and we have developed our program and opened it in cooperation with the Norwegian University of Life Sciences. So NMBU is our main academic partner, and most of our faculty and many of our graduate students, they also travel to Norway with these academic exchange programs, and like we go there to do some research. So our main focus is applied and policy relevant research. And all of our faculty members, they're actively engaged in designing different development projects and policy documents for the national government and also for the region. And almost in all of our courses, we try to incorporate some ideas and theories from development economics and like environmental economics for sustainable development issues. And here are the main features of our program. So it is a 2-year full-time program, which is on campus. Well, at least it used to be on campus. Now we have transferred temporary to the online and distance learning. So all of our classes, they are in evening, and the language of instruction is English. We have study abroad programs and internships, mainly at state offices and agencies, so that students have that applied research experience. So the structure of the program, very briefly, 4 semesters and 120 credit system. So 66 credits are from core courses, and the list of core courses are given on the right side of this slide. 36 credits go to electives, and also independent research work and master thesis is counts as 18 credits. So roughly each course is 6 credits. So then within 2 years, students have to complete around 16 courses. And a lot of that can be covered with MITx MicroMasters credentials. So 24 academic credits are granted to those students who get the DEDP MITx MicroMasters certificate, which is actually a lot. It is 25% of total course credit requirements at our program. So basically it means that students will have to study, instead of 4 semesters, 3 semesters. And we also give credits to those students who have completed only, say, 1 or 2 courses within MITx MicroMasters program. So if a student has taken only 1 course, let's say microeconomics, we will still give that 6 credits, and probably that student will not have to take our microeconomic theory course. And then how to get admitted to our program. So the applicants should have an undergraduate degree, not necessarily in economics, it can be any other relevant field. And we have 2 exams. One exam is like English language exam, and the second one is math exam, but our international applicants, they can apply online and just send their TOEFL and GRE scores. We have our exams in May, June, July, but we highly encourage international applicants to apply at least by the end of June, because they will have to have some time to apply for visa and all, like make other arrangements. So the tuition fee is $4,000 per year. So for 2 years, students have to pay $8,000, but we give almost to all of our students financial aid in different levels, and that level of financial aid depends on the entrance exam results. We also provide research assistantships and teaching assistantships, which might be particularly important for those who want to start working with applied research, or maybe they want to start teaching because they plan to go to academic sphere. So for those of you who are interested in our university and program, please visit our university website, that is auca.kg, our programs website, and you can directly contact our admissions office and me. We are always happy to help you. So yeah, that is it.
Thank you so much, Akylai. I'm gonna field you some questions, if that's okay. Yeah. We'll do a few minutes of Q&A. Yeah, one of the first questions is, how many students are admitted to the master's program?
So we have 10 to 12 students per year that are admitted to our master's program.
Great. And how long will the MicroMasters program certificate be honored for application to the master's program?
So for now, we haven't really discussed that, but probably it will be up to 5 years.
Great. That's great. And how do international students apply to the program?
It's online application. We have an online application form, and it is available on the website. So we have a specific tab for and page for international students. It's quite easy.
Great.
And also international applicants that had their undergraduate degree in English, they don't have to provide any additional exam scores. They just need to give some sort of letter of that proves that their degree was in English, and that's it. So the only thing that they need to provide is basically the GRE score.
Great. And where are recent alumni employed, and what do most students do after graduation?
So for now, we have only one international student coming from China. And that student, he is employed at the international construction company, the Chinese company. Other students that were mainly our local students, they are employed. So I would say most of them are employed in different state agencies and organizations. Central bank is probably the most popular one, but also we have some students working at the Ministry of Economy, and we also have some students who, after finishing our university, decided, and our program decided to go abroad, and they have applied and got enrolled in another master programs in Europe.
Great. And I'll just have one more question, and it's what types of financial aid are offered and what criteria are used for choosing recipients?
So the financial aid that we offer is basically the tuition waiver. So it is up to 70% of tuition waiver, and we offer that just based on the entrance exam. So if international applicant applies, we just look at the GRE score and decide whether we will provide that financial aid or not. International applicants will have to basically have some money to cover the expenses while living in Kyrgyzstan. But that is not expensive because it's like lower income country, and also all of our students, they work full time, and probably the money that students would earn while working, it will be more than enough to live and even cover part of the tuition.
Great. Well, thank you so much for your presentation. It was great. Thank you so much. Yeah, and it looks like you're getting great feedback in the chat, so thank you so much. So I'm going to pass it off to Claudia from ITAM. And Claudia, you can share your screen and do your presentation, and then again, I'll field you your Q&A when you're done. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Madison. Right here. Can you see? Oh, sorry. Can you see it now?
We're still not seeing anything.
I'm sorry. Just hold on one sec. Oh, what's going on here? Sorry, I don't know what happened. So it says, let me try again. It says it's on pause. I don't know what's going on. Sorry, Madison, I don't know if you want to go on with Peter while I sort this out.
Yeah, that's totally
fine. It says that my function is in pause, and I don't know why it's doing this.
Okay.
I'm terribly sorry.
No, that's okay. Peter, would you like to go next? You're still on mute, Peter.
Sorry about that. Technology, when
No
you need
problem.
it most, it fails you the most. Yes, I'd be happy to go next.
Great. And so this is Peter, and he's presenting from Rochester Institute of Technology, and his presentation will start now. Thank you so much, Peter.
You're welcome. Just give me a second to get my slides up. And now it's my turn. Oh, there it is.
No problem at all.
All right. can everybody see my slides okay?
Yep, you're all set.
Great. Well, thank you, Madison. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. I'll give you a little bit of history about RIT. RIT was founded in 1829 in response to the growing high-tech needs of Rochester, New York, which is our home base, although we now have expanded around the world. At that time, the Erie Canal was being dug through New York State, and Rochester became one of the most high-tech leading cities in the United States. We've continued to maintain that status, although in ways that maybe don't get as much attention as Silicon Valley and other parts of the world do today. Currently, RIT has 11 colleges and degree granting units. We have slightly under 19,000 students and 4,500 faculty and academic staff. In terms of national research universities, we're ranked in the top 100 and third largest in the US in respect to STEM programs. We have international campuses. Obviously, there's a campus in Rochester. We have a recently opened campus in China. We have two in Croatia, one in coastal Croatia in Dubrovnik, and the other one in Zagreb, the capital. A campus in Dubai, which is quickly becoming our largest international campus, and a campus in Kosovo, which was set up in the early 2000s after the war and part of the international reconstruction process in Kosovo. And I can, if anybody has interest in that, I could tell you more about it as well, because I ran that campus for about 6 years. We're the fourth oldest co-op program in the United States, which means RIT promotes the use of students actually finding work opportunities similar to internships and using them as a means of integrating real world practice and learning into their studies. And in many students' cases, that actually turns into employment after they leave RIT. So we have a fairly high graduation rate across the board, although to the point where we actually sometimes have a problem of when students go off on co-op, reminding them they have to come back and finish. And we pride ourselves on being one of the world's largest and greenest campuses really in the world. We have a large solar farm, as well as lots of wind energy, many LEED certified buildings, and on-campus recycle programs, and many, many other initiatives. If you want to know more about the campus and RIT generally, there's a link in my slides, which I think will be delivered or made available after the presentations to our facts section of our website. So as Madison said, I am Peter Boyd. I'm the Graduate Program Director for the School of Individualized Studies in RIT. We are one of the 11 degree granting units, and the best way to think of us is as a meta college to the rest of the institution. So we are here to serve graduate and undergraduate students who have an interdisciplinary set of interests that require them to pull coursework and experiential learning opportunities from across the range of what RIT offers. And so a traditional single-focused discipline probably wouldn't work too well for them. In respect to the graduate programs, we have a master's in professional studies, which I oversee, as well as the advanced certificate in project management, our own MicroMasters in project management that we deliver on edX, and we're in the process of developing a master's, which we will deliver on edX as well soon, but I'm not allowed to talk about that just yet. Our master's is 33 credits in length. It can be taken online as well as on campus, and I'll talk a little bit more about pricing in a future slide. However, on purely online students at RIT receive an approximate 40% discount in tuition. Full-time students generally complete the program in 18 months, but students have up to 7 years to complete it. And it's not on the slide, but on average, we have approximately 90 students in the Rochester-based version of this master's, although we also deliver programs to specific cohorts in Dubai and Kosovo, and that probably represents another 70 students as well. So in terms of the structure of the program, students who come in take a gateway course that's very similar to most gateway courses in master's programs anywhere in the world, where they learn the fundamentals about doing research, have a degree of orientation to RIT, and we focus on the student defining their own individualized plan of study, as well as doing some research into what will be trending in their area of academic interest and or career interest, so that they're preparing themselves for the future, not so much the past. In that plan of study that students prepare, they lay out 2 to 3 complementary concentration areas of coursework that fit together for some larger theme that they're trying to achieve. So An example of that might be somebody who takes engineering, a little bit of public policy and project management, and looks to work in perhaps a sustainability related company or a governmental entity that also deals with sustainability or environmental issues around the world. Courses can come from, of course, RIT, 1 to 2 edX MicroMasters. We allow students to take any of the RIT offered MicroMasters beyond just our own project management. I believe at the moment RIT has 12, and pair them with at least 1 additional MicroMasters that comes from any number of other institutions who RIT has signed an MOU with to take their MicroMasters and credit. I would give you a list of that at the moment. Unfortunately, the list is constantly changing and growing. So if you are interested in that opportunity, please let me know and we can explore the matter further. Additionally, students can earn course credit through designing experiential learning opportunities, doing co-ops and independent studies. At the end of a student's time in the program, they design and implement a capstone project. And I like to think of the capstone project as kind of the mirror opposite of a traditional thesis, in as much as it is truly applied. And we ask students to find a real world opportunity that hasn't been sufficiently capitalized on and actually use their capstone experience to do it in some way. So create a project and evaluate how well it worked. And because we are a program that caters to a wide range of students with interests, we have had projects that range everywhere from people starting small businesses. We have this gentleman at the moment who has just finished the program, who has a business near Corning, New York, that designs clear solar cells that are applied to the windows on houses. So they're for commercial use in homes, as well as he's talking with the US military about using them on the fuselage of airplanes and helicopters, all the way to students designing programs related to wellness for children, to any number of other things. So who chooses the program? Really, it's a couple different types of people. We tend to find a lot of people who succeed in the program are mission driven, or entrepreneurial in nature. As I said earlier, they're people who tend to have a vision of where they want to go and a need to pull together a little bit of learning and experiential opportunities from around RIT, and maybe have just an environment where somebody can help them craft external opportunities as well that they can use to create the knowledge and the experience they need to achieve whatever that goal is. We also work with a lot of people who are mid-career and need a further degree so that they can pivot in some way within their career, either to another level or maybe just in a new direction entirely. But we also work with people who have a need to pull together learning that they may have acquired in other places in their life and use it to create some degree of closure around a degree so that they can move on and or do something of meaning to themselves in this world. So really kind of again, a program that deals well with all comers. Let's see, approximately 65% of their students are working adults, as I mentioned, and attend part-line, primarily online. So in terms of this MicroMasters, what are potential pathways for you? We will give up to 12 credits towards the 33 credit requirements for the degree for people bringing in the DEDP MicroMasters. Beyond that, and that would probably represent in and of itself one of the concentrations in a larger plan of study. So how you might round out the rest of it could be, and this really comes down to the needs of the individual student, but a further concentration in project management, data science, public policy, social entrepreneurship, sustainability, and really just many things, many areas that, of course, that can come directly from the RIT course catalog. Since data is a component of this MicroMaster, I would point out that RIT touches upon data and really data science in really 3 ways. Through the College of Computing, it's a high degree of focus on algorithm design and the software implementation side of the process. Through the College of Science, through the computational mathematics program, it's a large degree of focus on statistics, just using computing muscle to do it on a large scale. And through the College of Business, the focus tends to be on using data science for decision making, all of which could be relevant to somebody who's looking to do something fairly entrepreneurial with a MicroMaster such as this. In addition to those areas, If you don't find coursework at RIT that's specific, as I mentioned before, an additional MicroMasters is a way to, or articulating previous work experiences is a great way to add course credit to your plan of study. And we can always design independent studies or experiential learning opportunities that might work well for you as a student. Some people are just fundamentally hardwired to work better in a project-based environment. Because there's somewhat of an international aspect to all of this, I would point out, because RIT has those global campuses, we have in the past used them as learning laboratories, experiential spaces to send students so they can do work in those places and get course credit for it as well. So that might be an opportunity for anyone interested in RIT. Current RIT tuition is a little over $1,900 per credit hour for on-campus full-time and part-time students. Full-time is represented as 9 to 12 credit hours per semester. Online students, as I mentioned, get a fairly substantial discount, and it's a little over $1,100 for them per credit hour. And SOIS, the School of Individualized Study, offers merit-based scholarship awards up to 50% of tuition. So there are and of course there are additional external scholarship opportunities that students can pursue on their own. If you want to learn more, I've also left a URL in the slides that lists out all of RIT's options around tuition and payment. So in terms of next steps and getting started, we promote the idea of people working with academic advisors at RIT. So Wendy Giuliano, whose email address I've provided here, is primary contact for students coming from the MicroMasters space. Feel free to reach out to her. She's well versed in why you'll want to talk to her. So just introduce yourself and get started. You can plan around our rolling admissions process. We take students in at the beginning of every semester, and to be honest, as long as we get an application 2 weeks before classes start, generally speaking, you can have a decision in that time frame. So we're pretty flexible in that regard. And you can apply online through RIT graduate admissions, and I've left the URL for that as well. And well, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to take them. And again, if sometimes, I tend to have my best questions 30 minutes after the event's over. So feel free to send me an email if you want to talk as well.
Thank you so much, Peter. This was great. So can you talk a little bit more about the application deadline?
I don't have the specifics of when RIT start because, of course, around COVID-19 planning, we're not quite sure when we're going to start things up in the fall. But as I mentioned, because my team meets twice a month, usually on Thursday mornings, and we just review any applications that have come in the previous 2 weeks. So if a student's application is complete and meets the standards and there's no concerns, we make a decision on the spot. So it's a fairly quick process. So as I said, so long as we have an application 2 weeks before the semester starts, we can give you a decision in that time frame.
That's great. And then
and I just to build upon that, we don't actually have any limits on how many students we allow into the program. So in terms of being concerned about a cap, that's generally not an issue. Great.
Someone asked, is a bachelor's degree required when applying for this master's program?
Yes.
Okay. Someone asked, what specifically is a gateway course?
It's just a foundational course that helps students acclimate to the services and the resources available to them at RIT. Many people who have decided to pursue a master's haven't necessarily been in university in a very long time, so it's an opportunity to help them get back in the swing of things a little bit. We also, in that specific gateway course, we focus a little bit on learning how to do basic research using the library. I'm very interested personally about the future of work, so we do a lot of reading around what technology is doing to work in the world that we live in, and and discussing how we can prepare for that. I also asked the students in the course to do a fairly large literature review that focuses on defining what their area of interest is in terms of a context. In fact, the course is called Context and Trends, and then examining what the large trending opportunities will be coming down the road so that they can prepare for them. It also becomes the basis of helping them make an argument for why they've selected the course pathway that they have.
Nice.
Pick course X to fulfill the requirement to meet goal Y.
Great. Someone asked, does RIT have pre-doctoral fellowships in economics?
No, unfortunately, no.
Okay. Someone asked about international student visa permits.
Without having a more specific question, it's a little hard to address, but RIT is really no different than almost any other institution of higher education in the United States. And we're probably about 60% or higher international students at RIT at the moment. So it's just a fairly straightforward process, that similar to the application process for any other US-based institution.
Great. I think that those are all of our questions. So Peter, thank you so much for your time. It's really great. You've gotten some great feedback in the chat as well.
Right. As I said, if anybody wants to send me an email, feel free. I'm not going anywhere at the moment, so happy to talk.
And then Claudia, will hand it back over to you. So again, Claudia is from ITAM, and we'll tell you more about their program.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Peter. Sorry about that. Are you seeing it now?
Yes, we are.
Okay, great. Oh, now I have the wrong, my goodness. There we go. So thank you again. Thank you for having me. And I'm terribly sorry about the fault with technology some minutes ago. Peter, again, thank you for rescuing me. I'm Claudia Aburto. I'm the director of the Master in Applied Economics at ITAM. ITAM is a university that is located in Mexico City. It is a private, secular, nonprofit institution of higher education. Its mission is to contribute to the individual's comprehensive education and to develop a freer, more just and prosperous society. We aim to reach the highest levels of academic excellence in an environment promoting plurality of ideas, respect of ethnic, cultural, and religious differences. ITAM is one of the leading universities in economics in Mexico. We have almost 6,000 students. We have 13 academic departments, and we offer 12 master's programs and 1 PhD. Of these graduate programs, three masters belong to the economics department, which are the masters in applied economics, the masters in economic theory, and the masters in public policy. The Masters in Applied Economics at ITAM seeks to develop in its students strong and sophisticated tools in economics, statistics, econometrics, data science, and programming. We see our program as a very a novel program, quite different program in economics. It's not a traditional program in economics. We have this aim to have strong economists that can connect the economic theory with the real world. We want our students to be able to ask themselves interesting and relevant questions, but also that they're able to answer them in a robust way using traditional, sorted, organized information, but also using or getting into using non-organized and non-traditional, not sorted information. So we give our students the opportunity to develop programming skills and to get into data science tools as well. The structure of our program is the following. We have 80 credits. It is a 1-year full-time program. We have 6 core courses, which are applied microeconomics, applied macroeconomics, applied econometrics 1, and applied econometrics 2, and we have 2 applied research courses. Besides these core courses, we have 5 elective courses. Among the ones we offer are the ones that the Master in Applied Economics offers are these kind of the ones you can see on the screen: behavioral economics, economics of education, microfinance, health economics, impact evaluation, computational economics, econometrics, and data science. But we are very well connected with other masters in ITAM as well. you can, as a student of the Masters in Applied Economics, you can take some electives in the Masters in Data Science, like data mining, computational statistics, or machine learning. In the Masters in Computational Science, you can take courses like deep learning, or in the Masters in Economic Theory, you can take courses in dynamic microeconomics, consumer and producer theory, or mathematical analysis. Which is a pathway between the DEDP with ITAM. The MicroMasters credential holders can earn up to 18 of our 80 credits, which is 23% of our credits. These are the 3 courses we can take into account, and we will take them as an elective in the Masters at ITAM. These are data analysis for social scientists, foundations of development policy, advanced development economics, and designing and running randomized evaluations. Which are the admissions requirements at ITAM? Candidates need to have a bachelor's degree in economics or in any field with strong quantitative background. It is important that those that are aiming to get into the program have previous knowledge on advanced microeconomics, advanced macroeconomics, econometrics, calculus with several variables, and linear algebra. The thing is, this is not a master's that teaches economics from zero. It is a master's that is designed for economists to become very good applied economists, to develop these strong tools in econometrics, statistics, and programming and data science. It is also important to have at least 152 points in the quantitative reasoning section of the GRE, or 36 points in our admissions exam. Our classes are not fully taught in English. We have some classes taught in English, but some of them are in Spanish. We have this bilingual system at ITAM, so it is important for students to speak Spanish as well. Total tuition fees for the Masters is $14,230, and students can have up to 100% scholarship for tuition. This depends exclusively on academic performance, and there's a very specific rules for all this. If someone is interested in having much more details, we can have a private conversation, and I can give all the information. And we have these dates for our next admission process. On June 26, we will receive is the last day to receive all the documentation, and we'll have ITAM's admission exam on June 29th this year. It is, of course, an alternative. You don't have to do the admissions exam and the GRE. It is one of those that you have to submit. Our semester will start in August, mid-August. We are, of course, going to start the semester online, and we still don't have any information on how long we will be online, but we will try to get back into our regular modality as soon as possible. These are our contacts. My email is aburto@itam.mx, but my 3 colleagues can also be very helpful if you need any further information. Thank you.
Claudia, thank you so much. This is wonderful. I'll just field you a couple questions before we wrap up for today. So someone asked, does the pathway also apply to Masters in Economic Theory or the PhD in Economics pathway?
No, the agreement is only with the Masters in Applied Economics.
Okay. And then someone said that they have experience speaking Spanish from living abroad, but have not actually taken any professional coursework. Are there English translations or assistance provided for natively English-speaking students?
Not during the classes. The classes can be taught in Spanish. Something important is most of the material is in English, like all our readings, papers, and we all speak English at the time, so it is easy to communicate with with professors and students as well. But we don't have a translation system active during the classes.
Someone asked you, international students get student visas, and if they are student visas, are they able to work in Mexico?
I guess not. I think if you have a student visa, you have to remain as a student. But I mean, they could work as research assistants and this kind of work, but not like a formal work, like working on the central bank, for example, or something like that. That would require a special permit.
Okay, and then someone asked, so I saw you had the application deadline. When can you start the application?
You can start it as soon as possible.
Okay, great.
And just get in contact with us, and we're open to do it from today till the 26th of June. Okay. Actually, we're having two processes. One is finishing between yesterday and tomorrow. That's the admissions exam. And we have another date, which is going to be in June. That's the one that I offer for everybody today, because the one that we're having right now is too late. It's right upon us.
Yeah, I think there's two more questions. Where are recent alumni employed?
Most of my students are at the Mexican Central Bank, at the Finance Ministry, Economics Ministry, but I have also many students working abroad. Many are at the World Bank, at the IDB, at the OECD, and many of my very young students, the ones that finished quite not long ago, are doing PhDs as well. So many go into academia.
Great. One question is, the $14,000 US dollars is the total cost for the master's? Just
total cost. That includes all the fees. That doesn't include living expenses, of course, but those that includes all the fees for the program.
Great. All right, I think we just have one more question. And
sure.
Would my MicroMasters program certificate give me a better chance to be accepted to the master's?
Yes, of course.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay.
That would be something we would take into account. And it is quite important to say that we already have one student that took the pathway. And he's Mexican, and he did the MicroMasters at MIT, and he's just about to finish the Masters at ITAM right now during the summer. So, and he's been a fantastic student, and it's been a fantastic experience having him at ITAM. So, and yeah, when we reviewed his application, it was very important in the acceptance process, the MicroMasters, the studies he had. So we do take it seriously.
Great. Well, I want to thank all the panelists so much for coming. It was such a pleasure to hear about your programs and just to hear about the different pathways there are to take the MicroMasters to an advanced degree. I also want to thank all the attendees for coming. This was really great, and hopefully we'll be posting the recording within the next week, and I'll make sure it's disseminated to everyone.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day.